February 14th was the day I was supposed to die. What happened? What about living terrified me? And what changed about my life? What would change after your near-death experience? Welcome to Let's Go Dad.
You know, I was all set to die on Valentine's Day, and some people would be angry, right? They would hold a grudge or something like that, but I don't really think that I hold much of a grudge.
So I'm here in the hospital, had a 5-inch tumor removed from my colon and some lymph nodes. Yeah, not fun. I'm in pain. I'm also really happy that it's done, that it's over. They're testing it. Well, they're testing the lymph nodes just to make sure that there's nothing in them. They don't think there is. So yeah, I'm really happy to have it over with. Hey folks, it's been a long time. So I should be dead. Yeah, I kind of had a cancer scare. I had a big tumor taken out of me exactly a week ago. And today's Robert's birthday. I'm sitting in my walker. But I'm home from the hospital, which is pretty cool. And I managed to the gift bag Robert's presents. So that's pretty cool. And I'm alive. And I shouldn't be. So life is good.
3 years ago, I was in the hospital eating nothing but broth and Jell-O and protein drinks, waiting for my robot surgery, which I got. And I wasn't supposed to live, but I did live. And then at the end of that, I got to have the most amazing chicken quesadilla of my life. I don't know if it was amazing just because I hadn't eaten anything for like a month. I was in the hospital for like a month. Or if it was amazing because it was really that good of a chicken quesadilla. But tonight we're celebrating, and I'm getting another chicken quesadilla. We'll see if it lives up to my standards. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Dad.
Sometimes the path behind us needs to be looked at really carefully for us to figure out the path ahead of us. I looked at my life, not just what's important to me, but who I am, what talents I have to offer the world. These things became really important, and they became important to who I would become. Some people see death as darkness, but it was actually one of the most beautiful times of my life. A time to think through priorities, a time to appreciate family and how much I love them, a time to set goals, which my goals were to fight for my family, to adopt my kids in spite of all the obstacles, and then to truly live, and to live in service of other people, utilizing more of my gifts, because I was utilizing gifts, but I felt like there were a lot of things that were left, and I wanted to put everything I had, every gift I'd been given, into serving others, especially into helping foster caregivers. So that's what I did. That's why I took a new job. You do forget stuff. You forget the significance of life in the day-to-day. Priorities begin to slip, and you have to try really hard. You have to fight really hard to keep your priorities.
So I posted this about 7 days after surgery. I shouldn't be alive. Doctors and nurses kept telling me not to look up this very rare condition on Google. Now I know why. Been reading research. Almost nobody lives through what I had. Almost nobody even gets it correctly diagnosed before it's too late. That's why the medical students keep asking me what led me to the hospital and how I was diagnosed. I should be dead. Before surgery, I felt like I was on death's doorstep and was grateful to have left everything on the table. My motivations and individual steps have sometimes been flawed, but I consistently followed the wind, poured into communities, and enjoyed mutual relationships with those who engaged in community with me. I wasn't ready to leave my kids, but in every other sense, I was ready to go. I didn't realize before the shadow of death loomed that I was truly in this place, but I sincerely was and saw the beauty of this in that space. Is it selfish to say I desperately desire to keep living this way so that the next time I face my end, I am equally prepared? I've been in bed most days pondering all the reasons for gratitude and rethinking my life. Have you been here? There's a lot of good I want to do with every gifted breath that I've been given, but I also want to support and be there for my family. I'm open to any tips for moving forward in new ways or in processing potential major life changes. Listening to the wind today, it's banging on the door. So I did apply for a new job. After that. So much changed. We did respite care for a lot of foster kiddos. I fought really hard to adopt my kiddos, and man, that was a fight. And now, spoiler alert, I'm adopting more kids. But so much has changed about life. There's a lot in church traditions about how the rough times, The times when trees are barren of leaves, how those prepare for a good harvest. That's necessary for a vibrant spring. I think I've done that. I think that's what all that was for me. Still good.
And I felt really bad. I was like, I'm so sorry.
But if I had died, would you have laughed? Really? Okay. Oh, that's terrible.
Sorry.
Okay, my teacher, my 12th grade economics teacher, said she went to a funeral and she was with all of her cousins. And back in the day when they were in church, they'd sit all close together, like we were a minute ago, right? And they'd all try to breathe really deep at the same time until someone popped out. And so they were at the funeral, all the cousins sitting in the same pew, and all of a sudden they all thought of that at the same time, and they were all fighting so hard not to laugh. And it was like her mom's funeral or something, right? And they're all sitting in this pew trying so hard not to laugh. Crazy. Which, by the way, I would love it if you laughed at my funeral. That would make me so happy. Well, all I can say is I'm really glad to still be alive and part of this family. You guys mean a lot to me.
Frankly, if you had died, when I got to heaven, me and God would have some words.